Hello, hello. It is Wisdom Wednesday. Woohoo! It's me, Kathleen. It's nice to see you guys. Thanks so much for watching today and joining me. Today we're going to talk about Facebook Live, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys can do to ensure that your lives are great. Okay, I have several clients who, when I said, okay, I think you really need to go live on Facebook, they look at me with like a deer in headlights. They're scared. They're like, I don't want to do that. I am not good at public speaking, and no, thank you. And I get it. It can be intimidating. I get it. It is not the easiest thing to do, especially if you've never done it before, right? It's like anything. The first time you do something, you're like, oh my gosh, what if I suck? And you're putting yourself out for the whole world to see, and it can be scary. So I thought, well, why not kind of go through some of the best practices for how to do a live great, and I could share with you some ideas of different ways that you could approach doing a live, talk about how you should be promoting it, and then share with you some of the technology and some of the things that I like. So those are sort of the 3 or 4 things that we're gonna cover off on today. And if you're watching, just let me know that you're here. Say hello, give me a like, give me a heart, let me know that you're here, and if you catch on the replay, please do let me know that too, so that I can respond and thank you for watching me, so I know that you got to see it. And as always, if you have any questions, please do pop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer if I can, or if you want to just private message me, you can do that as well. So we're going to start today with best practices. What can you do to ensure that you create the best live possible? And I'm going to stop right there because you know what? I'm super annoyed. It looks like the picture behind me is not straight. So don't do that, okay? But it's just our group. So I'm going to, we have a little bit of leeway here because it's just us and our team. But anyway, what can you do to make the best live possible? Well, first and foremost, before you turn on that live on your phone or on your computer, you want to have a plan. Know what you're going to talk about, right? Have an idea of what you want to say and actually write out an outline. Okay? Give yourself the opportunity to think about what you want to say and how you're going to get from point A to point Z. Because you don't want to turn on that live and start talking and all of a sudden you're rambling and you're just going on and on and on and you're not making any point. Guess what? That's the fastest way for people to click off, stop watching, and potentially even unfollow you. So make sure that you have a plan and make sure that you write down an outline. Okay, it's the best way to help you organize your thoughts so that you can be really polished and really professional when you go live. Another really great thing to do is practice. I do this a lot when I'm thinking about, okay, what do I want to say and how am I going to say it? Guess what I do? I go to my bathroom in my downstairs. It's a big mirror, and I stand in front of that mirror and I just start talking. And I don't have my notes, I don't have anything, but I just start talking and I just start trying to get comfortable with the content and practicing what I want to say and sort of thinking about, are there any kind of neat anecdotal things that I can kind of bring into the conversation? And that practice really helps me. And guess what? I do it in the morning the day of, right? Like I have to run to the bathroom and then after I'm like, I'm running through it in my head and I look in the mirror and I watch to see what my mannerisms are and to see sort of what feels good to me and what doesn't. So practice is a very, very good tip for making sure that you're able to communicate your points clearly and concisely. Practice. So you have your plan, you have an outline, and you practice it. And another great way to ensure that you don't sort of get lost in your thoughts when you're live and you're trying to talk to people and you're trying to sort of give them some information or inspire them or educate them in some way is to choose notes. Look at my notes, you guys. I have 1, 2, 3 pages of notes here. And you know why I do this? Because I don't want to forget anything. I have so much that I need to tell you guys that I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. And guess what? No one is really going to care if you look down the side to look at your notes. In fact, you can even tell them, hey, I care so much that I've written some notes here because I don't want to forget anything. I want to make sure that I tell you everything. Because it is very simple to forget. I can't tell you how many times I'll be like, I've done something without my notes and I'll be like, oh, I forgot to mention the most important thing, or oh, I should have said that, or I wish I had said this. So my notes really help me to not get distracted in my own thoughts. Another really important thing that you need to do for your lives is create a call to action. You have an opportunity here to ask people to do something. They're listening to you, they're watching you, they're connecting with you. So make sure you're using a strong call to action. Like right now, drop me a like if you're watching this and you like it. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Aaron. Ask for a call to action. Drive them to your website. Drive them to your freebie. Tell them to make a comment or give them something that they should be doing so that you know that they're watching and that you're connecting with them. And this is your opportunity. If you want someone to go sign up for your website, ask them to do it. Tell them to do it. Say, go to my website, download my free guide, sign up for my newsletter, whatever it is that you're trying to promote. Make sure in your live you ask people to do that. We tend to forget that, right? But that's so important. It's one of the reasons why you're on this medium is so that you can ask people to do something, okay? The other thing that's really important that I feel like a lot of times people forget is that if you're trying to present yourself in a professional manner, you have to look the part, okay? So you have to dress a certain way. You don't have to be super fancy and super corporate in a blazer and all that. No, but you should think about the way that you look and present yourself the way that you want to present yourself to the world, the way that you want to present your brand to the world. So make sure you brush your hair. You don't have to put makeup on if that's not your thing. That's fine. But look presentable. Look like you've taken the time to care about how you look. Because if you've taken the time to care about you, people are going to say, okay, well, she's taking the time to care about me, so she's taking the time to care about how she looks, and she values what she's saying, and so I'm going to value what she's saying. It all plays a role, so you want to make sure that you look professional, that you look polished, that you look like you have your stuff together. Now, there are certain times when that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. So say like you've just come from the most amazing exercise class and you feel so inspired, right? Yeah, get on that live and talk about it, but that makes sense. Like being in your car, being with your hair up, like that makes sense. But you want to create an environment that allows you to put your best foot forward. So, a lot of times people will do lives in their cars because they're running quick and they just want to get it in. I would caution against doing that. Give yourself and give the people who are watching you the respect that you both deserve, and create an environment where you have some time to actually share and communicate and connect. Because remember, that's what live is all about. It's all about creating that connection with people. Now, you want to keep it real and you don't want to be too polished and too professional, but you don't want to also come off as someone who's not really thinking about how they look and what they're saying and what they're doing, because then they're not gonna respect you and they're not going to take you seriously. And that's what you really want at the end of the day, is for people to take you seriously, right? The other thing that's really important when we're coming to thinking about the idea of where to do your lives and how to do them is you want to think about your frame, okay? You want to be eye level with the people that you're talking to. You don't want to be looking down at them. You don't want people looking up at you like, God forbid, that's like the worst thing ever. If someone has to look up at your nose, horrible. You want to take up basically 3/4 of the shot. So you want to be close enough so that people can, again, feel that connection, right? And so you see there's a little bit of white space up here, and that's fine. You want to have a little bit of space because you want to frame the shot nicely, but you want to be close. You want people to feel like they're talking to you. It's the opportunity to sort of have someone have this person who's live feel like they're in the room with you. And so you don't want to be too far away where like you've got like sort of this barrier wall. No, you want to be close and you want to have that conversation as if you're talking one-on-one. It's very important in building that trust factor and sort of connecting with the people who are following you. And then the other thing is make sure to invite, and this is one that I forget to do all the time, which and I'm always kicking myself at the end, is like invite people to subscribe to your live so that they know when you go live, right? It's a simple ask, and it's a simple thing. It's like, duh, yes. Watch me and subscribe to my live so that you get a notification and you know when I'm here live on Facebook. Please be sure to do that. It's a simple ask, but it's one I actually always forget to do at the, and it's just like simple part of like your sign off. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this useful, please subscribe to my live so you can be sure not to miss any of my upcoming lives. Right? Simple thing. And then you get a sort of more of a built-in following, because then you have people who are like, oh, Kathleen Manning is live. Let me go see what she's up to. Otherwise, they miss it, and everyone can catch it in the replay, but it is nice to have people live who are watching you, right? So those are sort of the best practices. You want to have a plan. You want to map it out. You want to practice, right? That's very important. You want to be able to use notes. You want to create strong call to actions. You want to look great. You want to frame your shot right, and you want to ask people to do something. So those are sort of the best practices for you for when creating a live. So I want you to sort of think about those things when you go live. And so then the next question I often get is, okay, all right, so I understand all of that, and that all is well and good, but I have no idea what to talk about or what to do. So, okay, there are a bunch of different things that you can do when you can go live. You can do something like what I'm doing right now, which is considered more of a tutorial, right? Where I come on and I sort of give my introduction, I say hello, and I give you, I talk about a topic, and I give you some tips, usually anywhere from like 3 or 4 or 5 tips, and then we move on. And it works well because I am a business coach and a marketing coach, so that sort of works well for what I have to offer, but that might not necessarily always be 1, what I do, or 2, what works for everyone else. So here are some ways and some ideas of other things that you can talk about when you're going live. So if you are someone who has a business and you get a lot of like the same questions over and over and over, you could do a live about your frequently asked questions, and you could make it fun. You could have someone with you who's like reading some of the questions and you answer them, or you could just have a list in front of you. You could say, these are some of the questions that are always asked about my business. Well, here are the answers, and make it really fun and light, and, be yourself and be engaging. And it's a great way to go live and share with people a little bit more about your business. Are you launching a product? Well, this is a perfect opportunity to go ahead and announce that launch, right? Say, look, here comes this great new program that I'm launching. I'm super excited about it, and take people through it. So if you're launching a product, or you're launching a new line of something, or you're launching a new service, share it. Go online and talk about it. Don't just rely on the written word. Also, another great thing is if you do have a product that you want to share, do a demo. Showcase how you can use it in all different kinds of ways, like get people to maybe help you out, or show people, like if you have a line of bags, show them what their bags look like, show them how they can wear them. If you have a line of kitchen products, show people what they look like, and this can also be like how to use or great gift ideas for Valentine's Day, and create packages and show people what that can look like. Let them see it so that they can get a better sense of what it is that you're selling, and they can get a sense of the quality of it. So it doesn't just have to be you here sitting here and be like, I have the best X, Y, and Z. No, actually show it to them and let them see it. Another really fun thing to do is let people in a little bit on your life. Give them a tour. Show them what your office looks like. If you are someone who owns a business that actually produces products, take them to the behind the scenes of what that looks like. What's a day in the life of you running your business? Show people, let them see the inner workings. People want to feel like they're connected to you. They want to feel like they understand you. They want to feel like they know what you're about. So taking them behind the scenes really helps people feel that way. And it's a really fun thing to do. And then you don't have to feel so like, gosh, it's me sitting in front of the camera talking and hoping that people are watching. No, you're kind of like, and this is my office, and here's like how I work, and this is where I go when I need a break. That kind of thing can be really fun, and just another way to help build your connections with your followers. Another awesome thing to do is run a Q&A where you're actually live and people are asking you questions. So the most important thing with something like that is to make sure that you properly promote it, and that you have people who are there to ask you questions. So obviously you want to come armed with some questions that you can answer for yourself, and maybe you want to have a few close friends or business partners or whoever you work with be there ready to answer or ask questions for you, so that it doesn't feel like crickets. But I think that's another really fun way for people to ask questions and to get to know you a little bit better. Some of the brands do that a lot, and they're really successful at doing that. Some of the bigger bloggers and some of the bigger like business coaches that I know, they do a lot of that kind of stuff. And you can promote that for weeks leading up to when you actually do it on your pages, on your Twitter feeds. Send me the questions and we can go through and we can do a Q&A. It can be a lot of fun, and it can be a great way for people to get to know, like, and trust you. Another great way to use live is if you have a big announcement. So if there's some huge milestone in your business, or some new partnership you've created, or some new program you're launching, or say you're getting married or you're having a baby, like, why not announce it on your live. Like, it's a super fun way. Again, it's all about building that connection. So those big announcements are so valuable. So if you've just gotten a certification, talk about it. If you've just gotten a promotion, announce it, talk about it. Let people see how excited you are. Let people see how passionate you are. That's the way to get people to come into your business, right? Another great thing to do is, along the lines of that kind of like behind the scenes idea, is give people a little behind the scenes of your business. So if you're working on something, bring them in and let them see the work in progress. Like, let them see, like, it's not quite done yet, but here's where I'm at, or this is what I'm working on now, or I'm trying to find connections with these people. Here's my list. If you guys know anyone, let me know. Bring people along for the journey. Maybe not so much, so you're not so much talking at them, but you're working with them and say, hey, if you have any ideas of how I can make this better, or if this is interesting to you, let me know. People love to feel like they have ownership and connection. It's all about that connection and that ownership. And the more that they feel like they have a voice, the more likely they are going to be your follower and your brand ambassador. And then the last one is this sort of tutorial that I'm doing. And when you're doing a tutorial, you really want to think about, how you can do one of three things: how you can educate, how you can inspire, or how you can entertain. So those are like the most important things to think about when you're doing a tutorial. Does it accomplish one of those three things? And if it doesn't, then it's probably not the best idea, and you should probably think about something else that you can do instead. So those are a lot of really easy ways for you to get online and to start talking to people. And if you're still not sure, okay, well, I still really don't know what to talk about, do some social listening. I don't know how many of you know what social listening is, but get on your platforms and see what people who are your target audiences, see what they're talking about. What kind of questions are they asking? And then answer those questions. Go to Pinterest. What are the most popular things that are being pinned in your industry? Look at them, see what people are writing about, and then create your own live relevant to what you see people searching for. It's the best way to do it, and it's what the huge brands do. They spend big bucks on social listening because they want to know what the people are talking about, what their customers are talking about, so they can then provide the answers and the solutions. And that's what it all comes down to, right? You want to be able to have your brand be the solution provider for your customer. So do the social listening, and that's going to help you figure out exactly what it is you should be talking about. So we've talked about some best practices. We've talked about different ways that you can do live. And so now I want to really talk about how to promote it, okay? So obviously you want to do promotion leading up to a live, right? You want to let people know on all of your platforms, not just on Facebook. If you have a Twitter handle, tweet out that you're going live. If you're on Instagram, let people know in your stories you're going live. If you have a blog, if you have a newsletter, push that shit out. Let people know you're going live so that they can come and watch it. Don't be afraid to tell people. It is so incredibly important that you let people know that you are going live so that they can watch it, okay? And then guess what? When it's done, don't just be like, oh God, I did that. I'm so glad that's over. No, now you have to go and promote it on the back end. So it's the same principles that apply. Take that live and tweet it out. Take that live and pop it into your LinkedIn profile. Take that live and drop it in a blog. Take that live and put it in your newsletter. Embed it on your website. Create snippets from the blog. Edit it, create snippets and put it on Instagram. Upload it to your YouTube channel. Let people know that it's there and that it exists. Then, by the way, you can also take these lives and repurpose them and repost them at a later date on your pages. Reuse the content, and you can even boost them so that they can get even more views. So if you feel really great about one of the lives that you've done, share it and share it and share it. It doesn't have to be a one and done scenario for you. So don't be afraid to reuse it, and don't be afraid to promote it. You've taken the time to sit down and map out your plan, create an outline, and then spend some time talking to your followers. So take the time to then make sure that they see it. I mean, that's 101 in marketing, and that's what we do for all of our stuff, right? So we should be doing it for our lives as well, because the live is one of the best ways for people to get to see you. They get to hear your voice. They get to see your mannerisms. They get to feel like they're in the room with you and connect with you. And that's what you want at the end of the day. That's how you're going to find your people, because they're going to look at you and they're going to say, oh yeah, she's cool. Or, oh yeah, she has some great thoughts. Or, oh yeah, she's really funny. I really like her. You know, she's relatable. She's easy to understand. She has great products. Whatever it is, get your live out there so people can see it. So do not be afraid to promote it. Do not be afraid to reuse it. Okay? And so, you know, some ways to sort of make it look good is to make sure you have the right equipment. So I use my iPhone because I like my iPhone camera better. In fact, I know people do use their computers, but a lot of times the cameras on computers aren't good enough. So if you're going to use your computer, I would really recommend that you add a separate camera to your computer. The Logitech cameras are really fantastic, and you can just pop it right on your computer, and that will give you really great high quality film. Another thing that's super important is your lighting. I have a little one of those Diva Ring lighting things that I just pop on the bottom of my phone, so it really helps to brighten up my face and the whole look of my room, and helps me look and feel a little bit more professional. And one of the other things that I really like is I invested in a tripod because I wanted to make sure that I was able to be eye level with people, because it's so important for that connection piece is to be eye level. So I have a little tripod that just sits right on top of my my table here and holds my phone for me, and so I can be eye level with you all, and we can talk, and it just makes it a lot easier. So I'm not looking down, I'm not looking up, I'm not trying to hold it and have a conversation. So my hands are free, so I can use my mannerisms, and I can talk as if I was talking to someone in the room. So those are sort of the three things that I really like to have. I've actually also invested in a few other things that I think I'm going to show you guys next week, but I want to sort of play around with them first. But, you know, think about how to make yourselves look and feel as professional as possible, because everything that you do communicates. You know, you worry so much about your marketing and your branding and your social media posts and curating a look and feel. You cannot forget about the live. The live is so important because it's you. So you are the person now representing the brand. So make sure that you are putting the best foot that you want to put forward. If you want to be that polished professional person, make sure that's what you're doing. Okay? It's so important. And I see so many people who forget that. They don't think about it. They kind of like, they're not high energy. They're kind of like, you know, no one wants to watch that. No one. Okay? One of the other things that's really important is, and I'm going to do this right now, is to acknowledge the people who are watching, but not every second. Okay? If you're trying to make a point and you're trying to get from point A to point B, it's really distracting if you're like, hi Trish, hi Carrie, hi Allie, hey Julie, thanks for watching. Look, you're all watching right now and I really, really appreciate it and I think it's awesome. But if I'm trying to make a point and I keep stopping every 2 seconds to say hello to someone, it's distracting. So pick and choose when you're going to acknowledge people, and pick and choose when you're going to answer the comments. Get your points made, and then you can turn to and acknowledge the people that you're talking to. And you can break it up. You don't have to get all the way to the end and then acknowledge people, because you might lose them. But like, don't stop mid-sentence and be like, oh, hi. You know, no, don't do that. Finish your thought. Make sure that you communicate what you're trying to say, and then acknowledge your viewers, okay? And so if you're someone who's never gone live before, and if you're someone who's really like, oh my God, I don't think that I can do this, here's a great way for you to just get started, okay? Go live. Keep it short. Yes, I know they say, like, if you, the longer you go live, the better chance you have at getting people to watch you. Yes, but when you're new at something and you're scared, keep it short. Come up with a topic that you're passionate about, that excites you, that can educate, inspire, entertain. Come up with one of those 3 things. Go live. Come up with what you want to say about it, and then give 2 to 3 tips. Acknowledge your people who are watching. Encourage them to let you know where they're watching, whether they're watching live or they're watching the replay, because you want to make sure that you can thank people for watching. Give them a call to action and sign off. It will go so far in, 1, helping with the algorithm, right? And helping you get seen online. And 2, in building confidence for you in doing lives, because once you have a successful one, you're much more likely to say, yeah, I can do that. That's no big deal. And so that's what I want you guys to do. So for anyone who's like, oh, I can't do a live, I'm not sure, or I'm scared, just try it and just practice it. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And I don't know if you guys can hear, but I have my 2-year-old upstairs screaming hysterically, and my 4-year-old is right next to me saying, Mama, Mama. And I'm trying really hard to ignore everyone so that I can make sure to get all my points across. So my point being is like, there's always going to be distractions. What?
I'm just saying that I want to give Cassie the slide because I think she's crying.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes, go give it to her. Okay. Sorry, guys. The joys of motherhood, right? We were trying to multitask. So I think that I've hit on everything. You want to just like maintain a high level of energy so that people feel excited about listening to you and watching you. You want to make sure that you acknowledge your people, but don't let it be a distraction. You want to make sure to introduce yourself. That's like super important. Let people know who you are, because the goal is that this is going to get seen by more people than who actually follow you. You know, in a group setting, it's different because only the people in your group can see the live, unless you decide to share it on your pages and whatnot. But if you're on your business page, more people are going to see it than who actually follow you. So you want to make sure to introduce yourself every time and say who you are and what you do. Don't assume that everyone watching you knows who you are, okay? And then again, if you're nervous, if you're unsure, keep it simple to start. Talk about the topic, a couple of points, create the call to action, thank your people for watching, and sign off. Okay, so those are my sort of tips. Those are my best practices, the technology that I like to use, ideas for what you can do and how you can create a live, and sort of a short, quick little summary if you've never done one and you're a little bit scared. So I encourage you all to just go for it and try it. And if you have ideas for what you want to share, like share them on the group page. Like, let's talk about it. We can help you brainstorm a couple of points to make, so that you feel really confident and you feel really excited to go live and to do it, because it will not only help your business, it's going to help with your exposure, and it's going to help increase your footprint so more people can see you. And at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? We want more people to know who we are and what we're doing, and we want them to know, like, and trust us. And so one of the best ways to do that is to connect with them through live. And by the way, all of these principles for Facebook Live also apply for Instagram. So another format, and I'll be honest, I don't do Instagram Live. I've actually never done Instagram Live, and I probably should. But I tend to focus more on going live in this group than anywhere else. But that's also, all of these tips also work for Instagram. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for watching me, and if you have any questions or any additional thoughts of other ways that you can create content or do things that make it interesting for people to watch, please do share with the group. We'd love to hear it, and I hope everyone's having a terrific day. I'm going to have to go see what's going on with my 2-year-old and why she's screaming like a crazy lady, but thank you again so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Oh, here, let me just quickly show you. This is my little, oh, I'm going to turn it off though so it doesn't. This is what my light looks like, and it just attaches right underneath my phone. So it's really a nice trick, because now I've just turned the lighting off, and you can see I look a little bit more washed out. My lips aren't as like popping in color, so it does make a difference. And they're super cheap. You can get them on Amazon. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later, and let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if this was helpful to you. And yeah, have a great day. We'll talk soon. Bye.